Hi, my name is Julie Bear. I'm a horticulturist at the Pennsylvania Horticulture Society's Meadowbrook Farm, and I'm here today to talk to you about pests that you might find on your houseplants. Most of the time, these pests are pretty small and good at hiding, so you're going to see signs and symptoms before you even see any pest. Most of the time, those signs and symptoms are things like yellowing leaves, discoloration, lack of vigor. And you're going to want to get in, examine your plant, check the underside of the leaves and the stems, and see if you see anything unusual. Pests, the most common pests you'll find are things like scale and mealybug. And mealybug looks like little bits of cotton on your plant, and scale sort of looks like a little scab. This citrus tree here, these plants both have scale. This citrus tree, I noticed it had some mold growing on the leaves, and I knew that that was a sign that I had scale. So here's the scale insect right here, and that scale insect has a sucking mouth part that pierces into the leaf and sucks out the sugar. And then that scale insect just eats and eats and excretes what we call it's honeydew. And then the honeydew is sticky. So if your leaves are sticky, that is probably a sign that you have scale insects. And then the honeydew will develop this, what we call sooty mold. And that is another sign that you have a scale insect. With that plant here, it doesn't have a tremendous amount of leaves, so you could use something like rubbing alcohol and just wet a rag and wipe down all the leaves, get the underside, and that will kill the insect. And you'll want to do a repeated application with any of these products that I'm going to show you. So after a week or so, do this process again. Now here, this fern has a lot of leaves. I don't want to sit here and wipe down every individual leaf. So this is where something in a spray bottle is probably going to be a better option for you. Now these are both pretty readily available at garden centers and hardware stores. These are made by a company called Bonide, and they're safe to use. This is insecticidal soap and this is neem oil, and they both act the same way, in the same way. They smother the insect and the insect dies. So the key with these is you just want to get full coverage, cover all the foliage, get down into the crevices, get the underside of the leaves, and just cover the whole plant because those little bugs are good at hiding. And if all else fails and you really can't control your problem, this is kind of your last resort, and this is also by Bonide, and these are systemic granules that make, you shake it onto the soil and makes your plant toxic. Now, it's important to know what your plant is supposed to look like. This is another fern, and some people might look at this and think that this has scale also, but these are actually just spores. So you want to know what your plant should look like so that you're not treating for something that isn't even a problem. And the last thing I'll leave you with is make sure if you're using any tools to clean your plants, disinfect your tools as you're moving from one plant to another. So if you're cleaning up the leaves on this fern and then you want to clean up this citrus, you can use something like Lysol and disinfect your tools between moving from plant to plant so that you're not spreading any insects or diseases. So that's all I have for you today, and thanks for listening.